Hey everyone, it's Louis, and today really excited to come back for another CyberLink, and this is CyberLink number 9. I must say it's been quite a long time since we had relevant or meaningful updates regarding XBorg, but that doesn't mean that no work has been done, and you'll see today. So for those of you that are new to those CyberLinks, what those are essentially just a brief or an overview of the things that we're working on, things that are evolving, and we're not just highlighting the good, but also the things that we can improve as an ecosystem. And what we do specifically at XBorg is building a new gaming ecosystem where players own their data and where they can access new applications with their data, applications that are way more powerful. So, without any further ado, we can deep dive into the agenda and what we have for you today. So we have some exciting product updates, some esports teams onboarding, some news regarding HR and new hires, but also roles that we have open. Also community members of the month, one specific question of the week, and we'll discuss also about the XCS Finance. First is the product updates. So if you're new to the XBorg ecosystem, today we have two applications that are currently in production so that you can access. We have the Launchpad, but we also have the XBorg.gg app, which today is and remains our priority. So this is by no means V1. We actually haven't marketed the app that much, but we are in this phase where we test the app, we test a couple of functionalities, and today we have about 400 early adopters. So this number is much lower than the previous 10,000 which we had on the previous version of the application. But this is on purpose because the app is not where we want it to be. There are still things that we need to improve, functionalities that we are adding on a constant basis, and we'll do the marketing in due course. But just if we zoom out on this product, which is XBorg.gg, we aim to release the V1 towards end of the summer. This is our internal deadline at XBorg, and this is where we think we'll have a full-fledged product, which we will call a V1. Now, regarding our philosophy to building this product is to build in public, meaning that the app that you see currently is like a sandbox for developments. We are openly A/B testing some functionalities, so things might break. And looking backwards, I think that's something we could have improved. I think moving forward in upcoming product developments, we won't be that open about the new functionalities that we're building, just because it's not very professional, if I'm being honest, that some things break. So what we'll do is we'll keep the new functionalities within a close circle of community members at XBorg that want to test functionalities, and then once those are ready, we release this to the public. But nonetheless, we're talking about a very small sample of people today. So talking about the app improvements for this week, we essentially have a new onboarding flow. We have fully functional gaming quest on Dota 2 and CSGO. We've revised the quest tag and the filtering system. We also are adding a profile section as well as the quest history and a couple of other patches to improve the performance of the app overall. So this is what we have in store for this week. We've also mentioned a couple of weeks back on Discord that we've successfully integrated with Riot Games, and we are adding new launchers and platforms as we build. As I said earlier today, we are taking a different approach now, where we are focusing more on building high quality features than releasing in the public and breaking things essentially. So as I've mentioned, the big milestone for this app is end of the summer. Why end of the summer is also because we have a lot of esports teams that are joining the app. So for those of you that are new to the XBorg ecosystem, you might be wondering, what is XBorg.gg and what does the app do? Well, it enables a player to build his identity on the games that he or she plays, but also to join communities. And so the main strategy to scale the user base of the app has been to build the app with esports teams directly. And so if we look today at the overall XBorg ecosystem, this is where I'm definitely the most proud of, is our ability to convince the world's biggest esports teams to join our ecosystem and to build on top of our infrastructure. So, we're happy to announce here that we'll have 10 white label apps by the end of the year. And this is something that we target. What you see here as the first milestone is Team BDS is actually releasing in September. And then in October, November, December, we have some scheduled launches already. These are things that we've committed with esports teams. So internally at XBorg, we feel somewhat the pressure of what's coming. I think we can already announce that after summer is going to be a very, very busy period for the team. But also for the community. I mean, it's going to be a busy period of announcing new teams, but obviously shaping new communities on the app. And what we ship specifically for esports teams are white label solutions. So what that means, it's a custom platform, but that reuses our infrastructure. What we've learned through pitching with the world's best esports teams is they want to have a tailored approach to their community, and so building a generic product for them doesn't quite work. But the end goal remains the same: is that they are reusing our infrastructure. Simply, it's a different cosmetic built on top of it. What we also target is 10 Web3 game integrations and an additional 20 communities on XBorg.gg. So one thing to understand is XBorg.gg and the 10 different white label apps for the world's leading esports team is going to be different, but the infrastructure is going to be the same, meaning that the credential network is going to be the same. It's just a different cosmetic. It is simply something we need to have for those esports teams that are, it's something I cannot announce here. And I wanted to announce today some names, but we unfortunately cannot. Reason for this is there are huge marketing campaigns that are being prepared for the launches of the different applications. When I'm saying that we've partnered with, and these are not tiny partnerships. These are large partnerships that we've concluded on paper, meaning that there are agreements. These are things where they are confidential agreements, where they are like go live dates, and while we can't necessarily disclose everything, but you have my words that this is coming. It's arguably, I think, one of the things where, as a community member, you might be wondering, well, what has the team worked on concretely? But I'm confident to say that these things do take time. But what I'm asking you here is to just support the team as much as you can, because internally I can say that the pressure builds up, and of course for the whole team this remains a very exciting moment. But when you partner with the world's best esports teams, you need to uphold a certain standard that involves a lot of people, from legal team, from obviously a technical team, from the design team. It's of course something we can't neglect, but I think looking back, I mean, it's just amazing to build with the world's best esports teams. And when I say build, it's actually building. It's not announcing a partnership just to do nothing. It's to actually build a solution with them. And that, of course, takes a lot of time. But here, please congratulate the whole team for what they are doing at the moment. These are not things that you sadly see, but when I guess we can say that we've onboarded, some of the greatest teams in Europe. If you look at let's say League of Legends, CS:GO, Valorant, Rocket League. We've onboarded I can say almost all of those games, the world's champions, or teams that have substantial titles, and these are teams that have hundreds of thousands of fans, if not more. And so for that, we're super excited about. And of course, that means because we're getting a lot of traction on the business side, and because expectations are higher than what we had anticipated before. Truth be told, when we were discussing about Esports Teams, we did not know how the reaction was going to go or going to be. And now we see huge momentum, and so we're scaling up the team accordingly. So I'm very happy to say that we've onboarded James in our team. James is the previous CTO and co-founder of POC, which is a SaaS platform. And we've also are scaling up the design team. So what we build for those esports teams is a way to build the identity of their fans. And the way they build their identity is with the questing system on the games that we support and on social medias, but also with the avatars that we build internally. That means that we're not relying on any third-party companies. Everything is internalized. So that means we are producing the assets in-house. That means that we have more flexibility. We are very agile in producing assets. We have full control over these assets. Most importantly, we also own the rights and IP around the assets that we're creating. So that means we've onboarded Pedro as 3D designer, but also Stino, also another 3D designer. And we keep hiring. We are specifically looking for back engineers at the moment. And again, it's an exciting phase. In all transparency, now we're just trying to manage expectations. There is also this thing of risk management where we have pushed a lot on business development, and now we just need to manage and make sure we deliver a solution that is up to the expectations of the teams that we're discussing with. Because of course, when you talk to those teams, I would say you only have one shot. If you don't make a good impression from the get-go, then it's going to be very hard for you to gain some trust back. Now moving into the community members of the month. As you probably know, we are doing our best to reward the people that support us. As an ecosystem at XBorg, we really strive towards building gaming technologies, which are gaming applications, but also other types of gaming utilities with players directly. And so we do heavily acknowledge the support of the people that help us along the way. And we had different epochs. So we had Epoch 1, the snapshot was taken earlier this year in May 2023. Now we are entering into a new phase, which is the Epoch 2, which is currently ongoing, and that's going to be up to, from the 1st of May to the token launch. And this Epoch 2 is focused on rewarding the people that help us grow the ecosystem, specifically on the product side. So as you see, we're trying to build in public. We are releasing functionalities, and we're involving a lot of community members in testing the applications, testing the functionalities directly with us, and to make sure that whatever we ship to the public is of great quality. And I want to acknowledge here 2 new members that made it to the Hall of Fame. So this is where we reward the most supportive community members. And today we have Serobi and Make It Real. Make It Real has done an amazing job. We had a very lengthy FAQ where you can find anything or like a lot of information about XBorg, all of your questions that are answered. And Make It Real just translated the FAQ into 9 languages. I will drop the link here in the description of the YouTube description, in the description of the video that you see now. And we also have Serobi, who's very, very, very dedicated to testing various games directly in our Discord. is actively participating in all of our events, and he's spending tremendous time in our community. I think up to 6 hours a day, just building with us in our Discord, making sure that the community is active and that we stay strong to our core, which is to play great games and to build like a structure where players can simply come together. Now moving on to the community question of the week. And for those of you that are maybe new to XBorg, we took pride in raising funds with our community earlier this year, where we raised about 2 million directly with the community, and that happens on the XBorg app, but also on our launchpad. And as we said, this is one part of a larger round, which is a seed round, which is a 5 million round. So where we stand today, as I said, we gathered more than 4 million of interest from private investors, which actually we rejected for the most part, because these were not investors that were aligned with what we want to do. And beyond just looking at capital as just capital, we also look capital as a way to get more value. So when someone invests, it's not necessarily about the money that you bring, but it's also the value that you can bring beyond just the money. And so where we stand today is we've onboarded a good amount of influencers and what we call key opinion leaders into this seed round, which remains at the same terms as the community. We've onboarded about 20 influencers so far, and we are still making progress in the private rounds, but we're taking our time. Strategically for us, and my perspective and my philosophy was we need to bring a bit more value, and we know the value is coming. So it's not like we are just waiting, as we know the value is coming just after summer, and we know that this is where we'll have the most momentum on the XBorg ecosystem, and this is where it's going to be a very busy and intense period for the remainder of the seed rounds. Of course, we keep getting requests from VCs to dig deeper into XBorg and eventually invest, but this is not something that we treat with the top one priority. Today, we remain very capitalized. We have about 2.5 million in treasury. We're not burning tremendous amount of cash at XBorg. We have more than 3 years of runway. That means we have time on our side to be accompanied by the best investors in the gaming space. And now, just to finish this off, we are currently running the XCS Finance. So again, if you're not familiar with what the XCS is the Extreme Championship Series, and this is the biggest Web3 gaming league so far, where we are distributing more than $100,000 in cash prize. And this week we are running the EV.io finals, where we're distributing about $8,000. I think we've seen surprising momentum leading to the finals of this league, where on every finals we have a ton of players that are showing up. Of course, the space remains pretty small. Web3 gaming remains at its infancy, and so as people that are leading the way to creating great products for players that is meant to empower them, we are taking major leaps forward. But that means sometimes we wish we would onboard 100,000 people via this event, but of course in practice, in reality, it's much different. But XCS remains one of the most watched events in Web3 gaming, and for this we're very proud. So that is it for today's CyberLink. We'll come back in about 2 weeks to come up with new updates. I think globally we will remain around the same strategy throughout the summer, which is to keep building new functionalities on the app, to stay transparent, the things that are remaining for the app to go live, is the inventory service and what we call the questing events. So what the inventory service is essentially the ability to create your avatar, to unlock wearables and to move wearables around, to mint your wearables. And then the questing events is a way to package multiple quests into one event. And this is an exciting functionality, and that will come roughly at the same time. And these are the things that are remaining today for us to ship the app for the Esports team. So the team is fully focused on that today. So again, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you liked it. If you have any comments or remarks, you can directly leave them below in the comment section. And if you obviously liked the video, please drop a like. If you did not like the video, you can also drop a dislike. But yeah, thank you so much, everyone. And we see each other in about 2 weeks.